I've recently rewatched Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, and I think it is an incredibly fun, awesome, adventurous good time, full of swashbuckling, perfectly choreographed action sequences. And honestly, guys, Johnny Depp was all in his prime. He puts in a hell of a performance his first go around as Captain Jack Sparrow. But the thing with the Pirates franchise is they've recently been all diminishing returns. Which brings me, of course, to Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Where's your ship? Your crew? Your pants? Jack!
I'm so sorry, were you still talking?
Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales is directed by Joachim, Rønning, and Espen Sandberg, and it stars Johnny Depp, Geoffrey, Javier, Bardem, Brenton, Thwaites, and Keira Scodelario. I'm gonna be honest right off the bat, this movie is not that good. But let me tell you what I liked about Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales. Right off the bat, I had more fun with this film than I did with the fourth film, and I think that has to do with the character played by Keira Scodelario, who really killed it in this role. I think she did a very good job of selling her character and selling what she had to do. Granted, none of these characters really had much to do, but I think she did a good job acting in this film, and so did Brenton Thwaites. I think Brenton Thwaites was very good in this film as well. He didn't also have that much to do, but I bought him in the role that he was there to do, which was pretty much to just be the Orlando Bloom of this film, which you kind of got from the marketing campaign. Now, while I always enjoy Geoffrey Rush's Barbossa, Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow is just becoming somewhat of an annoying character. Actually, not even somewhat of an annoying character. He is an annoying character by this point in time. Jack Sparrow in the first film was this interesting character who, while being drunk all the time and seeming like he was blundering around, I felt the blundering around was also an act, and that Jack Sparrow was really a good pirate. In this film, he's not a good pirate at all. He's not good at anything. He's just a drunk, bumbling around, stumbling into things, which would have made for an interesting arc if by the end of the film that was actually resolved, but it wasn't. Nothing about Captain Jack Sparrow in this film made any sense, and in fact, you could have taken Jack Sparrow out of this film entirely, and the film wouldn't have changed at all, in my personal belief, because frankly, the things that revolved around Jack Sparrow didn't make any sense for the story anyway. Jack Sparrow in this movie was an afterthought, and Johnny Depp was there solely to sell this movie, and he didn't even sell me on his performance. Another thing I really liked about Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales was the music. Now, I'm not going to say I liked all the music, because I didn't think the score was incredible. It's those really recognizable themes that have carried through all the Pirates films that gave me an emotional feel, even though I don't really feel that strong of an emotional connection to this franchise. It's just those songs really hit me. Something that I didn't think looked that great in the trailer was the ghost sharks and the CG, really, of this film, and I think it worked out in the theater. I did see this movie in IMAX, which I would recommend if you're gonna go see the movie. I'm not exactly sure if I recommend seeing the movie, but if you're gonna see the movie, definitely see it in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX 2D, just because sometimes 3D, I'm not a huge fan of 3D. It has to be done really right for me to like it, and I just didn't think that this movie was going to be worth the extra ticket cost, so I went and saw it in 2D IMAX, and I thought the CG and visual effects worked really, really well. I was very surprised. The only visual effect I didn't like was the de-aging of Johnny Depp, which just didn't work for me, which is strange because it's worked in other movies that I've really found that I've liked it in. Like, I liked it in Ant-Man when it was done, and I liked it in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when it was done, even though I heard that most of that was practical makeup. But anyway, I didn't really like, and I didn't buy the de-aging in this film, and I think it was just something a little off with Johnny's nose and mouth. Which brings me to my dislikes for this film. Almost everything else. I think this movie is very, very poorly written, both in dialogue and in the actual events that occur. This movie's dialogue is incredibly cheesy and almost nonsensical. The things that these characters have to say are laughable. At one point in time, and I don't even care, this is, I guess, a mild spoiler alert, but that's fine. I'm just gonna tell you anyway. At one point in time, Johnny Depp wakes up and he says, "Spaghetti wolves!" And it just doesn't make any sense. And it's what is his character becoming? Like, really, what is his character becoming? Because Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow was one of my favorite characters. For the first and even the second movie, I really dug Captain Jack Sparrow. And they ruined Captain Jack Sparrow's origin or whatever. They really condense the world here that they're like trying so hard to make through 5 films and probably a 6th and 7th and 8th, and it just really pissed me off. This one thing really pissed me off about the movie, and I think you'll see it and also think it pissed you off, or maybe you won't care enough that maybe I shouldn't care enough anyway, whatever. But I also think that this movie didn't sell me on any of the events that occurred. I don't think there was much of a through line in this film, and they tried to haphazardly place a through line through this film, and it just didn't make any sense. And don't get me started on things that occurred towards the end that they loosely tried to tie back into the beginning and just kind of felt like a bullshit tie-in. I'm not a fan of the way that this film was written. My biggest thing is I didn't feel like they had a story to tell with this, and they just were really scraping the barrel here with Poseidon's trident. Javier Bardem's Captain Salazar is incredibly underused in my opinion, and I'm not going to even touch on Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom's part in this film. That should say enough. Basically, guys, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales felt like a film that was haphazardly thrown together without really a sense of needing to exist. And another thing that really made me angry about this film was I didn't think any of the action sequences were that well directed, and frankly, I didn't feel like anything even occurred. This didn't feel like a Pirates movie to me. There was not that many interesting cannonball fights. It wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to outrun. It wasn't shot in that like great way that Gore Verbinski shot those sequences where like one ship is running, trying to outrun another ship, and it didn't feel dynamic enough in this movie. And frankly, there were scenes like action sequences, important pivotal action sequences, where I could hardly tell what was going on because it was so dark, and all the action sequences were shot very, very up close. I feel like these directors saw the way that Paul Greengrass directed the Bourne sequences and was like, hey, we should do that with the Pirates movies. It was far too up close, and you couldn't tell what was happening, and it didn't make sense in this scenario. All in all, I'd say watch the movie if you're a huge fan of the Pirates franchise, but if you're not, check the movie out on Redbox, or I'd even say skip it, because frankly, it's not worth your money or your time to see a film that was just haphazardly thrown to the wall, and I think that that's very unfortunate. I'm gonna give Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales a 5 out of 10. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to come back here to Razzle to check out all of our reviews and our shows being released here weekly. Thank you for all your support, and make sure to share and subscribe. Thank you for everything, and have a great day.